Hi, I'm Trevor.
I'm Australian.
And we are the Anthony and Todd Show. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard record, Fishing for Fishies. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is a Australian psych rock band that's kind of part of this charge of Australian psychedelic music. You got groups like Tame Impala, Gum, Tropical Bad Word Storm, and Pond, and the Murlocs. Only one of those who we have not reviewed on the show yet. And King Gizzard, I think, is most well known for a lot of their like gimmicks that they do across all of their music. What was it? Back in 2016, they released Nonagon Infinity, which was literally just an endless loop of music. Before that, they had records where like the whole thing was split. It was like 44 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was about the 4 seasons, and each one was split into 11 minutes and 11 seconds.
They hired an entire acoustic album.
Yeah.
As well as like I feel like they're mainly known for their mind melting shredding, as well as the frail vocals from Stu McKenzie that are just high pitched, nasally, kind of off putting, but nice, very charismatically just off putting, which is interesting.
It's never important. I feel like the lyrics are never really important in any of these songs.
Yeah.
In 2017, probably most well known, they put out 5 full length records over the course of the year. They had the Flying Microtonal Banana, which messed around with some microtones and a microwave. And they also had Murder of the Universe, which was just...
It was trying to tell a spoken word story, it just failed. It just didn't work. It was just very
super
it was
good.
just a chokehold of just psychedelic rock.
Yeah.
And it just went on too long.
They had Sketches of Brunswick East, which was a like kind of jazz album.
Collaboration with Mile High Club. It just didn't work out.
Then they did Polygon Wonderland, which all went into the public domain, which I thought was pretty cool. You can use that without any charge.
Decent storytelling, upbeat style. I think shades of this appear on Fishing for Fishies, along with Gumboot Soup, which was B-sides. And I
Don't tell our fans.
Don't tell people, or else they'll freak the fuck out that you think this is B-sides.
I guess they're not our fans.
Because it's B-sides. It was a B-sides record.
B-sides, the point.
Like, there was some moments that didn't seem like B-sides, mostly the opener, Beginner's Luck, and the closer, what was it? Sleeping In, where it just felt very like
that was the closer.
Oh, was it? It was like second last,
so.
probably.
Yeah, it was towards the end.
Sleeping In, which was like both these like kind of like overly, I guess, melodic, kind of.
They just felt fleshed out. The rest of it felt like little like snippets cut from different parts of these albums.
But they also felt like
threw them all together.
They felt like you're like almost like frolicking through a field. They felt like natural in tone and size too. And I think the storytelling on both of them were grand in a sense. And I was excited going to this record because the singles that were released, Fishing for Fishies, Boogieman Slam, and Cyboogie, really interested me.
That's 2 of the 3 tracks that have Boogie in the title.
But I feel like they all just kind of like work together because they seemed like Back Roads like. They seemed like just upbeat, natural. They just seemed like they were based on the grooves. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think playing can be the main part. It doesn't have to be focused on lyricism or vocal performance. I think the playing from Gizzard, they have good instrumentalists on their roster, so why not use them? And I was interested to see what this good, how long it would be, just what the style, or if there was a gimmick attached to it, what would it be? And I think I'll let you read the quote I wrote from Stu McKenzie.
Okay, here's what Stu said. We tried to make a blues record, a blues boogie shuffle kind of thing, but the songs kept fighting it. Or maybe it was us fighting them. Ultimately, though, we let the songs guide us this time. We let them have their own personalities and forge their own path. Paths of light, paths of darkness. This is a collection of songs that went on wild journeys of transformation. End quote.
Yeah, so basically, for me, they're making kind of like a pseudo blues rock album, but it's not necessarily fine to a blues rock genre. It's like kind of inspired by it, and letting some of that Gizzard personality fall through. For me personally, I think this is a good record. It's not like anywhere towards the peaks of Nonagon Infinity or Flying Microtonal Banana, but I like it quite a bit. It interests me quite a lot. I think the playing on this is fine. I think it's a decent amount of length. It's 42 minutes. Does not feel like 42 minutes for me. It feels pretty short actually, and breezy and breathless. Has some of that mythical quality. Not in lyricism, but more in the tone that was in Polygon Wonderland. Just that, like, I felt like I'm going on a journey of sorts through Australia, where The Hobbit took place.
I was in New Zealand.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was. They had crushers on the set.
God damn it. But yeah, I feel like just the backwoods style playing and the blues rock style kind of reminds me of a White Denim a bit. Something similar in a tone. Well, I think White Denim's tracks are a lot more shorter and a lot more fleshed out, I guess, in style. These feel like just kind of impromptu jam sessions, but just because I feel like they have almost kind of like an impromptu style doesn't mean they aren't good. Because I think this thing flows together. It's very vivid, colorful, and it's a lot of fun. I think Cyboogie, the most notable moment on here, is a very synthetic kind of cuts the end of the album off and this weird moment where it goes down this weird synth route. Fishing for Fishies, Stu's vocals. Also on the track, Real's Not Real. Stu's vocals, the frailness of them is so fresh and fun, and they able to just like create this atmosphere that just perfectly encapsulates kind of like a song you would fish to, something you would take the reel out of your tackle box for. Is that how fishing works? I have no idea. Reel's the
Reel is attached to the fishing rod.
Yeah, I know fishing. I think. I'm actually fishing for fish. I don't fish for fishies. They're two different things. So I don't understand how fishing for fishies works.
I liked some of this record. I really enjoyed the first track, Fishing for Fishies. I thought it was fun. I thought it was just funny. It's very odd. And I really enjoyed Cyboogie as well. It was a really cool single. When it first came out, I was like, there's no way this is King Gizzard. And then it went on for 7 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is King Gizzard. For the rest of the record, though, I feel like it was consistent. I definitely felt like this is one of their most consistent records to date. 'Cause, I mean, like we said, there are definitely highs of Gumboot Soup, but the rest of it is just like not at its
but
highs.
Also, Gumboot Soup was just like a mess of just a bunch of different ideas that they had left over from like Murder Universe.
I don't think I've ever 100% enjoyed a King Gizzard record. Like, there's always something about it that I'm like, I don't really care for this. And this one, I feel like it is too. It doesn't take risk. It doesn't take like a lot of risks, and I know what the band is like capable of. And yeah, like, you're gonna have risks, and they are going to not work. Obviously, like, the whole 5 album a year, like in the 1 year thing, worked to an extent, but also didn't really, because like 3 of those 5 don't really care for. But the other 2 I felt like were decent or really good. This one I felt like they didn't put a lot of risk behind it. They'd taken a year off from 2017 when they did the whole 5, and they didn't do anything in 2018. And now I feel like they're coming back, but like, where is that? Like, I figured they would come back with a fresh mind.
Yeah.
Where is that like risk taking? This is their most safe choice to date.
Yeah. I can see aspects of that, but also moments like Plastic Boogie, which just feels like this weird
That's
kind
the
of
third Boogie track.
it's like a weird oddity of just like sound. It's just kind of like mixing the natural feel with kind of something kind of pseudo Cyboogie, but not fully. It's just kind of a weird mix, more funkier type track. But yeah, I feel like there is some risk on here, but I think it's more about the playing, and I guess you can knock this thing for not having enough risk, but overall it doesn't mean I did not enjoy it. I enjoyed the performances on here. I enjoyed performances on here. I think it's a nice packaged album. Was up there with some of their best to date. I think it's not as good as Nonagon Infinity or Flying Microtonal Banana, but I definitely enjoy it more than Polygon Wonderland, or something around that nature. Definitely better than like half their material that they dropped in 2017 for sure. Keeping in mind that all scores are futile and meaningless. Right now, on this album, I think it's in this current moment, I think it's like a 7 to 8, somewhere in that range.
I'm gonna go like a 6.
Okay. But until next time, guys, I'm Vincent.
I'm Trevor.
And see you, boyos.
Bye, everybody.